Wow, incredible. Absolutely amazing. So, hello YouTube. This is the third and the final part of this tutorial series where we add a body and a facial animations for metahumans. In this episode, we focus on facial animations. If you are, like me, some years back and wondering how the heck the facial animations are even done in the first place, then you are in luck because I will tell you what I've learned. To begin with, before any facial animation is even possible, it is up to the 3D modeler to model the character or creature in a way that it supports facial motions. Basically, this means that the character needs to have a good face mesh topology that allows facial muscles to move natural way. This is usually done in so-called retopology phase. After the model is fine and dandy, there are two ways how to move the facial muscles. They can be either controlled using bones or morph targets. Let's study the metahuman face to see how it is built. To examine the metahuman, we can click the metahuman and let's go to face and let's double click the skeletal mesh. And here we are in the skeletal mesh editor, and on the left side here we can see all the bones, and on the right side here we can see all the morph targets. And it seems that this metahuman has a quite of combination between both of them. This is, to be honest, a massive amount of bones to have in a one character. But it's understandable as Epic is aiming that metahumans are behaving and looking as realistic as possible. If we go to character, bones, and let's see all hierarchy, we can see all the bones that are in this character. And for example, we can select the neck bone. I'm gonna select neck bone and start rotating it like this. With more targets, let's test some of these, like ear up. So yeah, so there are more targets even for the most subtle movement. We can have extremely detailed animations created with metahumans. The next question is, how do we move the face bones and morph targets the way that we get a natural face movement? In the larger picture, it is an extremely difficult and tedious task, as you must build different controllers controlling different parts of the face and then constrain those controllers to specific values and axes. Things become exponentially more complicated if you want to create facial animations by recording your own face movement. Mapping the raw motion data to the model is a really hard thing to do and not preferable unless you work in a video production and know exactly what you are doing. Fortunately, today we have a lot of plugins and software that automatically handle the initial setup part and map the motion to correct facial muscles. In Unreal Engine, for example, we can use the iPhone's LiveFace software, which can communicate with Unreal Engine through Livelink. Epic has created a pre-made logic that automatically maps the user's facial movement recorded in LiveFace into the correct bones of the metahuman face. We, however, in this tutorial are using the IClone 8 to do the mocapping. Reallusion also has a pre-made logic which syncs and maps the facial animations movement done in IClone into Unreal Engine MetaHuman. So, let's open the iClone and explore how to control the facial movement. Now we are here in iClone 8 and I just brought the Kevin character into the scene here. Before we send any facial data to Unreal Engine, let's see how we can create the facial animations here in the iClone. We have three main ways to create facial animations. We have the face puppet, where we can control the certain face muscles. So I click the face puppet here, and we get this menu. And now, if I, for example, want to add some kind of eye movement, I can select the eyes, or I can select the muscle here in the preview picture. When we click the eyes are masked automatically. So we can either select template here or select it manually here. When we have selected the body part, we can just turn on the animation and start moving the mouse, and we can see the eyes are moving. What is great about this is we can have any animation playing and we can blend these new motions into that animation. There are also multiple different variations from each template set. For example, this was the basic eye movement. I can use the squint movement. If I select that, then I can squint the left or right eye or both. Can also blink just by moving mouse. I will select the cheek. I can start moving the cheek up and down. Final example, nose movement. If I select the nose, I can start moving the nose. So these are pretty realistic animations we can do here. Okay, next tool, face key. In face key, we can select the face muscles and start moving them like this. Difference between the face key and face puppet is that in face key we aren't playing the animation as we do the motion. So we are basically keyframing different poses and we can then blend from one pose to another. In face key we can also select from the pre-chosen expressions. We can be, for example, happy, extremely happy, we can be in fear, we can be in disgust, and so on. Okay, we have seen a lot of different kind of expressions we can do, but how about if we want this character to talk? How do we do that? Fortunately, it is extremely easy in iClone. We don't need to record any kind of mocap data if we don't want. We can just import the sound file and the iClone creates the mocap for us from that sound file. Or alternative, we can write what we want this character to say and then iClone will automatically adjust the muscles so this character says it. So let me demonstrate. I'm gonna go to create script. I go to Acculipse and let's import a sound file. I'm going to import this one here. So this is the sound file.
Your sound card works perfectly.
Okay, so now I just this is the text that iClone got from the file. Your sound card, so this was the card, so I just adjust the errors. Your sound card works perfectly. Your sound card works perfectly. It doesn't get any better than this. So let's preview the sound.
Your sound card works perfectly. Your sound card works perfectly. It doesn't get any better than this.
Okay, so the sound is okay. Now I press align and the magic happens. The voicemails are aligned and now I press apply. If I play,
Your sound card works perfectly. Your sound card works perfectly. It doesn't get any better than this.
it was this easy to get the actual lip sync. It's amazing. So now, if I want to fine tune this, in this part where he gets angry, I can basically just go to face key and then put the angry face when he starts saying the last line. So in here, let's go to angry. No. Like this.
It doesn't get any better than this.
And from now on, we could just go to Face Puppet again and start previewing the animation.
Sound card works perfectly. Your sound card works perfectly. It doesn't get any better than this.
Okay, if we preview it now.
Your sound card works perfectly. Your sound card works perfectly. It doesn't get any better than this.
So yeah, that was the example. Another way to get the facial data is to go again to script, Acculips, and use the text to speech. So I can just type like, hello, it's a nice weather outside, don't you think? I press OK. It aligns the visemes.
Hello.
I press apply. Okay, and now we can check the animation.
Hello. It's a nice weather outside, don't you think?
It's that easy. Of course, if we want, we can record our own facial animations. And I will show you an example of that. And then let's create an animation, export it to Unreal Engine, and then implement that facial animation to our metahuman character. How do we record the animation then? Well, we can use the software called Livelink, which can connect to IClone, and after connection is done, IClone can read my facial expressions. To connect, I go to Plugins, Motion Live, open the plugin, and here I will need to type my computer IP here. This is my IP, so it's already done. I activate the live face, select the character. If we have multiple characters, we can choose which character receives our facial input. In this case, it's the Kevin. Yeah, I think that's it. We have selected Kevin. If I click preview, yeah, now this Kevin is reading my facial expressions. What is cool about this is that if these expressions are aren't strong enough, we can go to strength and start adjusting which muscles we want to have more strength when we move our real face. I fine-tuned this a little bit, and I think this is good enough. Yeah, another great thing is we have this smoothing here. So I activated the smoothing, and this smoothes out my facial expressions. When keeping this mode on, the results are just better in overall. Maybe the brows are too strong, so I'm just gonna lower the brow, and yeah, now it fits my face more. Okay. Yeah, another thing, if we want to fine tune even further, we can go to this menu where are all the face muscles, and we can fine tune the strength independently. So yeah, uh, what we are doing is I'm gonna record just some sentence, and then after that is recorded, let's try to implement that in Unreal Engine. Okay. Okay, now just before recording, I'm gonna zero out the pose, so my face, so I look straight into camera. I'm gonna record the audio. Mm, let's see, uh, with my mic, like this. And now I can start recording. So let's test this out. Let's test preview first. Yeah, I think this is good. Let's go to first frame and start recording. Wow, incredible. Okay, let's see the result. Okay, to see the result, I'm gonna activate my expressions. So here there is the new expressions tab here, and we can check this out. Wow, incredible. Yeah. Wow, incredible. Yeah, that's good enough. And now I go to off screen and start at I'm going to off screen, and then I'm going to start adjusting this animation uh, by using the face puppet. I think I use only the face puppet tool. So I'm playing this animation, and as I am playing it, I'm going to adjust the eye position and mouth position, etc. So I come back after adjustments. Now my adjustments are done. Basically, I only adjusted the eye, eyes and the brows. And mostly I used the replays because I saw that my eyes were looking really low, my eyelids were really low, and sometimes my brow went too low. So I just overrated the parts that I didn't like, and this is the final result that I'm going to keep. Wow, incredible. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And it took me, I think it was 2 minute cleaning procedure. So, wow, incredible. I really love how powerful this iClone is. It makes the cleanup process so easy. Uh, Now I think we are ready to implement this animation to our metahuman character. So let's do that. Unfortunately, putting an iClone facial animations to Unreal Engine Metahuman is not a super straightforward thing to do, as Metahuman character and iClone character are very different from each other. Let's study both of them and let's see how they different from each other. I click the Genji character, go to face and open the face. As we saw earlier, there are a massive amount of bones in metahuman character, and there are a massive amount of morph targets. If we study the character creator character, there are some shaders preparing. That's okay. Here are the bones of character creator character compared to metahuman character. If we check out the bone structure, we can see that there are only few bones in the face. There are some bones that control the eye, some bones that control some part of the lips and mouth, and a little bit around the nose here. So the main difference between the Epic Games approach and the character creator approach is that uh, Epic relies more on the bones when doing the animation. And the Revolution with its character creator and IClone are relying more on the morph targets. So basically, if we want to animate the character creator characters, I can now, for example, close the eye by adjusting the blink. So I can blink using the morph targets. Because of these differences, the characters are incompatible with each other. There is just absolutely no way we can import character creator facial animations to Unreal Engine character with traditional method. So, uh, what is the solution? The solution is that we live stream the facial animations from iClone using the Livelink. Revolution has created a pre-made logic where the facial motions done in iClone are mapped into correct facial bones and morph targets of metahuman face. This is, however, only half of victory, as we of course want to save the animations in Unreal Engine also. To save the animations, we are using a thing called, let's see where it is. Here, we use a thing called Take Recorder. Take Recorder can record movement of any given character and create an animation asset from that movement. That is exactly what we need and what we use, so let's get started. First, let's activate the Livelink connection. We already did most of the work when we implemented the Livelink for body. Basically, we only need to add one function in this Genji blueprint, and it's the AirKit setup. This will automatically handle the Livelink facial connection. And now, when we activate the Livelink here and set the Livelink face subject, remember this Livelink face subject came from Metahumans automatically. So this body is something we created as a custom. But this Livelink face was originally here. And as soon as we activate the link here, so let's go Unreal Livelink. Character is Kevin. Let's disable everything else. No need to send their data through Livelink, so only Kevin. Now the connection is on and we should see the Kevin here in the face. Yep, there is the Kevin. Nothing is coming through the body, so we can just disable it and activate the Kevin for the face. And let's hope this is working. So I'm going to open Livelink into this second window and activate the facial. Wow, incredible. Absolutely fantastic. just amazing. Now, of course, if this animation wasn't as good for this metahuman character, now would be the last chance to fine-tune the animation in iClone and constantly look the final result here in Unreal Engine. But I already like it that, so I think this is ready. Wow, incredible. Absolutely amazing. So now I'm going to yeah, let's activate the cinematics and take recorder. Let's put it somewhere here. Now we want to record this animation that is coming through. And we can record it here without playing the game. So it's pretty simple. We select the actor we want to record. We go to source from actor, and this is our actor because it's selected. So we can just select it. When we press record, this tape recorder starts recording everything this character does. So every bone movement, every transformation, everything. And as we are recording the bone movement and the facial movement through the morph targets, we get the correct animation. So let's do this. I'm gonna click the record, take recorder recording now, and I'm gonna play the animation. Wow, incredible. Okay, now I'm gonna stop. And we have our animation. We don't care at all about that sequencer stuff. If we would create some kind of cutscene or something, then of course we could just utilize this sequencer that was created for us. But as I said in the first video, we are doing the logic where we can activate the facial animations at will in mid-game. So let's do that. Let's close the sequencer, we don't need it. Now, after we recorded the take, we have the folder called cinematics, takes, this date. Let's go to subscenes, animations, and voila. Here are all our animations. If we open the face skeleton, we have this many files because this character has this many skeletals in this body. So the take recorder took all the skeletals and created a separate animations for them, which is absolutely amazing. So we can just use this face skeletal because the animation is in here. So I noticed that if this curve is open here, this scene becomes extremely slow. So there are some sort of real-time operations happening here. So I'm just gonna close the curves here, and we can move around. So yeah, I'm gonna hide all the bones. Let's do just selected and parent. So yeah, now we can scrabble to see the animation here. So let's see where this character starts to speak. Somewhere around here. So let's do this. Click right button and remove frame 0 to 50 like this. So now we start talking. Wow, incredible. And we stop around here. So right click, remove frames from 97 to 142. So now we only have the animation. Great. And let's name this speak incredible. Let's move this to anim's metahumans folder. And let's remove all the takes here. I don't need them anymore. Yeah, not sure why the curve slows down the computer. That must be a bug. Yep. Okay, so let's check out this character. Let's bring out our playable character. So did we put it here in Metahumans? Kenji game, yes. We replaced um, the blueprint with our custom blueprint, and I think we are going to replace the face also with our custom one. So this is using the face anim pp. So let's duplicate that and let's underscore game, because we don't want any of the mocap stuff in our game character. So let's open this game. Yep, there are a lot of mocap stuff. So let's just remove everything like this. Let's go to anim grab and let's remove everything. Okay. And our game character, let's go to its blueprint, go to its face, and let's replace this face animation with our face anim pp game, which we just created. Okay. Something is wrong. Oh, it isn't playing the. It should play the same animation as the body. So I'm just quickly going to see how to fix that. Now it isn't playing any animation. So I'll be right back. Yeah, the fix is extremely simple. We going to need to set the master pose for this face. As this face is using basically same skeletal as this body, we can set master pose that which means that this body controls the face also. So let's go to construction script and add our logic here somewhere. So for example this, let's take face, let's say set master pose, uh, which skeletal this follows. It should follow the body. Let's force the update, so it should be, yep, now the face follows the body. We don't have any unnecessary mocap stuff in this face. So let's just put the auto poses here. Let's put it here in the blueprint, so it's always on in this character. I think it's the class defaults auto possess by player 0. So we don't need to activate it here in the scene anymore. It's just there. See, this should override everything. Now we can walk, we can look. And the final thing to do is that we need to get this character to play our animation, facial animation. So, how to do that? Let's fix this one real quickly. So I think it was the is Livelink subject enabled. So do the logic only if it's enabled like this. Now we shouldn't get this error message anymore. Yeah, good. And I think I will adjust the camera also off screen so we can see the facial animations better. I do that now. Okay, I did a little bit of fine tuning, so I just lowered the arm spring to 200 and put it 50 centimeters higher. Then I created the logic. When press the middle mouse button, we put arm length to 100, and when it's clicked again, it's go back to 200. So we can just see a little bit of better. Okay, so now the animation. Uh, I think we are going to use the, let's see, uh, montages. Montage basically overrides any animation that is playing with the montage animation. So we want to override any animation we are playing starting from from the neck. So basically, face is playing animation and body is playing its own animation. And that is the most easiest to do with the montages. So let's create montage from the animation we just created. So right click, create anim montage. So speak incredible montage. That is good. Now let's go to our characters animation blueprint for the face. And let's start adjusting this. So what we want to do, we want to play the montage here. So let's go to slot. Slot is the montage. This overrides everything that is behind this, before this. And yeah, do we have some kind of idle animation? We should have some kind of idle animation for this face. Uh, let's see what happens if we just okay. Um, yeah, let's create the idle animation. So let's open, for example, this old anim, hide the curves, and let's go to some neutral pose like this. Let's go to create asset, create animation from current pose. And let's name this animation as face idle, like this. So yeah, this is idle animation for the face. So now we have face idle here, and we have slot. So basically, if we do something like this, then we play idle until this slot overrides everything. So let's first just test that this works. So we have this kind of logic here, playing idle until slot overrides. Let's open the blueprint and do a logic. When we press enter, we say something. So let's do here enter key. And we say play montage. We want to play this montage for the face. Montage to play is our speak incredible montage. And that's it. Now, I press enter. and it didn't work. So I'm going to off screen and check out what is the problem. Okay, so I learned something new today also. So I originally was about to use a master pose to match this head movement to body movement. But there is one node here in AnimGrab that we can use. Basically, we can use the node called copy pose from mesh. So we can copy the animation pose from another mesh and put it to this face. And then we can add our custom animations on top of that. So let's use this. Use attached parent, copy curves. And let's cast these. So cast head pose, new cast head pose. And let's name this body pose. Then we can use this body pose here, body pose. And put it here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so now our head is following the body here. And let's make sure that we have the game blueprint, yes. So this is working okay. And we didn't even need the face idle because the idle came with this default pose. But of course, if we would have some idle animations, then we could use this face idle. Okay, now we can continue. And let's check out if this slot is working now. Okay. Yes, it works, but the face will but the face will fly out of the body. So let's fix that. But our speaking is working, so we are nearing the finishing line. So we need some kind of blending to make everything work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable here in the character, call it is speaking. So whenever our character speaks something, we set this is speaking to true. So when we start to playing Montage, it's true. When the Montage has played, it's interrupted um, or it's completed. So basically whatever happens, we set this to false. Okay. Now here in the anim blueprint, let's take our character here. Was it some kind of what was the function? Let's just take player character. Cast to our character. Or let's get pawn. Try get pawn owner. I think that was the correct function we should use here. Yeah. Here is the is speaking variable. Let's promote it to variable so we can use it here in the anim blueprint. So this anim blueprint has its own speaking variable now. Then let's use this speaking to blend some poses. I think this is fine here. Blend poses by pool. If we are not speaking, we are using the base idle animation here. If we are speaking, then we need to do some kind of blending. What we can do here is we can blend this base pose and our facial speaking pose from above neck. So let's do that. Let's call bone blend bone levered blend per bone. Okay, so our base pose is our regular pose here, and our speaking pose is this one where we use this slot here. Okay. But I don't think we even need the filters, but let's check it out. Let's blend from above the neck. Because if we go to our face, we have neck underscore 01. So let's try that. Neck underscore 01. So from the neck, we are playing the speaking animation. Like this comes to true, and this comes to output. So if we are not speaking, just play the basic idle animation. If we are speaking, blend the basic idle animation with our speaking animation. Let's see if this is working. I press enter. Okay, yeah, the one final problem is that this head goes to default pose, so it includes the rotation also. We can speak, but the head rotates to same position as it was when we did the speaking animation. So that is the only thing to fix now. Yeah, and I figured out a nice and clean solution. So what we can do, it's as simple as removing the bone name. So what is happening here? We are blending between two different animations, but then we suddenly say that don't blend any bones. We don't want blending at all. But the magic is this. There is the curve blend options, because all the facial animations are done using the curves, and the curve blend option is override. So we aren't overriding any bone animations, we are just overriding the curve animations. So bone name is none. And if we test it now, we walk, we rotate, zoom closer, I press enter. Yeah, now it says, wow, incredible. And we have our working facial animation. So now let's add a little bit of sound and test it out. I'm going to create some kind of blueprint that triggers this animation and sound, and I do that off screen and show you the final result. Okay, what I did is I edited this character's blueprint, added the function called play speaking animation. It takes one parameter, and we can just pass the animation we want this character to play. No matter what, is speaking is true, and when animation is finished, is speaking is false. Then there is some very simple trigger, and when character overlaps it, we call the play speaking animation function and pass the speaking montage we had. Then I just play some sound. Unfortunately, I didn't save the sound when I played it in IClone, so it was really hard to adjust it afterwards, but I think it became pretty solid. So if we play walk near this artifact here, this character starts to speak. Wow, incredible. Yeah, and that's it. We created the actual facial animation, put it into Metahuman, and we can even play it at will at any time. Wow, incredible. And it doesn't mess up any other animations and nothing like that, so I think we did pretty good here. Uh, and now I think it's safe to wrap up this tutorial. If you learned something new or liked this, please like the video and subscribe to channel. There are plenty of other tutorials about animation coming up. So yeah, thank you all for watching and have a great day.